I'm Gian Paolo Balboni from Telecom Italia Future Center, and today I'm speaking about our experience on big data application we have developed in the Skill Lab in Trento. Okay, so what I'm going to share with you in the next 20 minutes or so is what we have been done in our lab, in the Skill Lab, Semantic and Knowledge Innovation Lab. That is the vehicle we are using to understand the needs and to developing and deploying solutions in the area of big data as the first trial to put this new area in the value chain of Telecom Italia for business. I will address especially the external market. Oh, we have been told big data is something that is unavoidable. We know because unavoidable because of this, because the communication today has changed, and Intel is kindly reminding us that a lot of things happen in 60 seconds in the networks, and big data are in our network because customers are doing different things, not just call themselves to talk or send SMS, but access video and make a transaction buying object online, and there's a lot of new customers that are machines, objects that are connected to the network and talking. So the two figures are telling us that this is an unavoidable future, that we will have expected to have 10 billion of mobile connected devices to our network by 2018, worldwide, of course, and the data traffic is going to increase 11 times, okay, from today to 2018. And we also have a sort of new Moore's law about the way information is growing in the network. The world information is doubling every 2 years, okay? And starting from 2011, where it has been measured to have produced in the year 1.8 zettabytes, okay, of data. Big data are there, so we have to do that. What we have done is to build our competence center skill in Trento 3 years ago. It started as an open lab, was put in Trento for a number of reasons. First of all, this is an integrated team. We have people coming from Telecom Italia, people coming from the university world, the PhD students, researchers across the world, and visitors. And the target is exactly bridging academy and the industry in order to understand, okay, better what we can do on big data, especially oriented to the external markets. But the most important thing is that the lab is embedded into a local ecosystem where we have other big industry, international and Italian industry are co-located in the area, and a number of companies that are small companies, small medium enterprises that are related to the environment, all together under the umbrella of the European funding for European Institute of Innovation and Technology. That is the reason why we have chosen Trento as location instead of other location somewhere in Italy. But the most important thing is that also the role that the territory and the public administration is doing to help different industries and different actors to cooperate to reach an innovative target with a win-to-win approach. They are not just R&D labs that comes from Telecom Italia, from ST Microelectronics, for engineering, but not just local companies that provides data and trying to understand how to develop business together with us, leverage the data, but also citizens and users, customers. These are the most valuable components for an initiative that wants to understand how things are going, what are the market reactions, what are the possibilities to develop new things. And this is something very much important. We have learned someone talking about the need of educating the market before. And well, this is something of the most valuable results we got from this initiative. Coming to concrete project we have been developing along a couple of years in the skill labs, there are two main areas that have different orientation. One is what we call mobile territorial lab, that is addressing the big data with a specific perspective, the perspective of personal data. How personal data can become a value generator, not just for companies, but for people too, in order to to pursue this win-win approach that we were talking about before. And of course, there are the analytics, and because we are experimenting about marketplaces, but the focus is about putting people at the center of data strategy. That's the key point. The other project, Trentino Open Living Data, is much more classically oriented toward exploitation of big data, starting from open data that are provided by public authorities, but service provider, and with the traditional topics we are all know that are about technical requirements, processing, storage, integration of data, visualization problems, and so on, in order to understand what is the business behind the data we are collecting. Let me give you some more details about MTL, because it's something that the approach we have followed in this project is something that is a little bit not so common in the industry, let's say, okay? It's not unusual, but it's not so common. The community is not so big. We have 140 people that are involved in this project that we have provided a smartphone and a lot of different applications that runs on the smartphone that are able to produce data according in different situations. Sorry. And we have a number of partners. Telefonica is a partner because, of course, he is also one of the Telecom Italia shareholders. We are working on the MIT Media Lab very, very, very closely, and other partners that are in the territory. And with the target of allow users to understand, to get awareness of the power of the data they produce, the data that they can track and understand, and provide end users full control about their data, and tools to not just collect, store, benchmarking, sharing, and using this data. From the user perspective, the types of data that they are producing are related to mobility, location, using, of course, applications, Wi-Fi and GPS, social interaction, that is how calls and SMS communication, but also physical proximity between people between people and some specific location using Bluetooth events from the smartphone. Expenses, how people spend money along the day, across the month. We will see an example in a minute. And even sometimes about the feeling, the daily mood, okay, that can sometimes can be derived from also inferring data from the activities that you do on the phone and from aspects related to activities you do when working and so on. So the accent is put on data collection, data sharing, data control. The users should be able to delete the data they don't want to keep stored somewhere for some reason, okay? And of course, visualization. The data store is personal, is private, there no privacy issue for that. That's clear, okay? Because each one is owning its own data, has had control over that, and can take the decision what to share, what not to share, what to remove from the data store. That's a key point. But the application scenario helps people understand the value of the data they generate and understand the value they can extract from sharing data, from comparing data with other people that have similar lifestyle or different lifestyle. And so the awareness is growing. The awareness is growing using personalized solution that allows monitoring. You can see they are depicted. The month expenses track, okay, of categorized by type of experience, for personal experience, for family, for kids, that one experiment one person involved in the experimentation is able to collect along the month. And this is something that help people understand, oh, interesting this. That gives me some suggestion about how I spend my money, where I spend my money, and when I spend my money. And then because the people are also in a community, and community are built trying to leverage similarities, young adult with families and kids from 0 to 6 years. People are stimulated to, what about if I share some information and compare what I'm doing with other people are doing? And the communities is trusted, is becoming trusted, because people are educated to compare each other and also to talk each other about some aspects. And so this creates the ecosystem available for opening data and allow other kind of application to be built on data, always under the control of the person. And when one additional service we have built on that is using user as a sensor, adding a specific devices, that is the one depicted here, that is a sensor of the air quality. It's understand the pollution, okay, in the air, can be connected to the mobile phone. A limited number of people are using it when going around for business or for lease or whatever, and allows to track the air quality over the territory according different along the day, and providing some interesting information. So what we have learned from MTL, we have learned that people, once they become aware of the data power, they are very keen to exploit services. And they're very keen to share information because they understand there is a value in sharing information. We have changed, okay, the red column expresses how the attitude about sharing data is changed across the trials. This reports how much satisfied the people are about the experimentation. And, well, 3% are a lot satisfied, 30% are completely satisfied, and 55% are fairly satisfied. Okay, so the result is a success. And people need to be, you need to give the opportunity to people to understand data is a new business. Okay, and education is crucial to allow the market to grow and to exploit. A few words. Let me check where am I. A few words about the other project. Tintino Open Living Data is much more classical. Okay, open data and living data. It collects a number of open data available for company or public entity about energy consumptions, about traffic data, about weather, about transportations, and information about consumptions in grocery stores, in the retail environment. There are two other main partners, so together with Telecom Italia, engineering and Trento Rise is a research consortium locally placed in Trentino. And the model is to build, is much more technological oriented, well, build a data platform able to deal with data streams management, manage the storage, anonymize data, integrate data. We provide the data from cold data records from mobile network, our mobile network, to this environment, and of course our data that are anonymized and then collectively grouped in order to guarantee all the privacy issues that a telco operator has to face with. And a number of data transformation can be applied across over the open API, providing application and services to the end user. Application scenario that has been developed until now are related to mobility, to security, and to understanding the uses of the territory, to support planning for both public administration and business development. These are the areas we have been addressing in this environment. But this application of TOLD has been also done outside of Trentino, of course. And this is an example of the application we have developed, again, together in cooperation with the department of MIT we are cooperating with, for the city of Milan, that is a big city in Italy, much bigger than Trentino, and it's a way to monitor how something that is happening across the city during a big event. The big event was the furniture fairs in Milan, which is the #1 fairs in Italy about furniture. Hundreds of thousands of people coming across from over Europe to go to the fair and to also to be involved in events that have been scattered across the city. This is the map of Milan, and these are the results of big data processing that allows to understand the answer to some question like, how many people attend the events and where do people come from? Okay, what are the flows of people coming to them? What is the buzz around the events? Because we are connecting data coming from our networks, from data monitoring by the social network, by Twitters, and what people like more and what is the buzz around the events. A few mention about a challenge we have just run across the first months of this year that was very much interesting as a suggestion about the approach to the big data environment. The skill has launched a contest designed to stimulate the creation and development of innovative ideas in the area of big data. Big data is an open field. It's something that we are always talking about, all of us are talking about from a specific viewpoint, some perspective, but there is much more value outside to be exploited. So we want to understand a different way to find the value. We ran the challenge of 3 different tracks: applications, data analytics, and data visualization, so 3 challenges separated. And we have provided a lot of information in a data set of data related to telecommunication, call data record, mobile telecommunication from our network, energy consumption, weather, public transport, the set of data we have already talked about before. And 600 million communication records, 50,000 energy consumption records, 8 million tweets, okay, logged. This was the data available for the challenge. And we have received more than 100 projects built on top of this data, open data available. The number of university teams, very relevant. Just a snapshot on the free top application for one for each area, top design for each area. That in the application environment, the winner was an application from the Polytechnic of Milano about understanding how the land is actually used, interpreting signals coming from people and from consumption and from what, and comparing this with what the public administration has in archive about the actual usage of that territory. So reality compared with what is in the archive of public administration. Data analytics, the winner has been a tool that is able to predict energy consumption, understanding behavior of people, movement, activities on the telecommunication networks, traveling, transport, and so on. The result was amazing because was an order of magnitude more precise, this tool, compared with the similar tools that the energy company is using to predict consumption for themselves. Because, of course, consumption prediction is something very much important because you need to buy in advance the energy for the day after, the day before, and have some sort of compensation about energy grid with other energy providers. So it is a very mission-critical application for companies in the energy environment. And data visualization is a way to integrate information about air pollution, traffic in telecommunication cells, people movement across a town, and this is a snapshot of the winner. Anyway, if you go to the skill website, you can see all details about this. In conclusion, what we have learned from all these activities we have carried on across, well, let's about 2 years, okay? 2 years of real activities in the skill lab. First, we have learned that big data are borderless. We need to work with a wide set of industry and application, because this is the only way to pave the way to the SaaS in the long run. Okay, we can of course concentrate on silos. Could be very effective, could be very successful for a specific application, but there is much more value outside that silos. So, big data is very much unfamiliar to people, okay, especially to end users. It is a concept that doesn't evocate nothing in the mind of the end user. So building the awareness of the consumer market is a long journey, but is of course something we need to do, and is better done within communities. The scientific communities is ready and willing to contribute, and the world of application is much larger than what we can think in our mind. So open data is a way to leverage on the capacity of other skilled people. And well, when looking inside the company, big challenge, we can find the biggest challenges about big data. Operational ownership of data has been told several times this morning, and I'm reinforced the concept is a point, is an issue, and complying to regulatory issue, especially for telco, can be one of the points that could prevent a wider and more efficient use of this technology that anyway is very, very, very important for the future of the telecommunication industry. This is our personal view. Thank you for the attention.